Hello, my name's Christy Campbell, and I'm an EFNEP program assistant for OSU Extension, and I'm here to talk to you about sugar in beverages. When we're talking about sugar in beverages, there's two parts of a nutrition info label that we want to look at. First, there's the total sugars. Total sugars are any sugar that naturally occurs in that beverage, plus any added sugars. The second thing we want to look at is the added sugars. Added sugars are any sugars that don't naturally occur in that beverage that are added in by a manufacturer or bottler to make that beverage taste sweeter. The reason we want to pay attention to added sugars is because drinks with a lot of added sugars tend to be what we call calorie dense and nutrient poor. This means that the beverage is high in calories but does not provide us with a lot of the vitamins and minerals that we need to be healthy and grow strong. For drinks, we want to look at both the total sugars and added sugars. We want to make sure that we're picking beverages that are low in added sugars, but also that don't have a lot of sugar in them overall. It's important to pick water first for thirst. So let's take a look at some of the most popular beverages, the amount of sugar in them, and how that compares to other beverages out there.
The first beverage we are going to take a look at is a 7.5 ounce can of cola. When we look, we see that the 7.5 ounce can of cola has 26 grams of sugar in it. All 26 grams are added sugars. Now when we convert grams to teaspoons, it's important to remember that 4 grams equals 1 teaspoon. So that means 26 grams equals 6.5 teaspoons. This is what 6.5 teaspoons of sugar looks like in a 16-ounce glass. And this is what 6.5 teaspoons of sugar looks like in the 7.5 ounces of cola. Next, we are going to look at a popular sports drink. When we read the nutrition label, we see that the suggested serving size is 12 ounces. And in that 12 ounces, there's 21 grams of added sugars. Here we see a comparison of an 8-ounce serving worth of sugar and a 12-ounce serving worth of sugar. In the 8 ounces, there's 3.5 teaspoons, and in 12 ounces, there's 5.25 teaspoons of sugar. Here is what 5.25 teaspoons of sugar looks like in 12 ounces of that sports drink. Oftentimes, we drink more than the recommended serving though, and we end up drinking the whole bottle. So let's bring back our nutrition label and look at it again. If we look at the far right column, we see that it has 55 grams of sugar in the entire bottle. 55 grams of sugar is the equivalent of 13.75 teaspoons of sugar. So if we drink the whole bottle of the sports drink, we're drinking 13.75 teaspoons worth of sugar. Now we are going to look at a fruit punch that contains no actual fruit juice. As we can see, the fruit punch only contains 3 grams of sugar. While the fruit punch is low in sugar, it also does not have any vitamins, minerals, or nutrients in it, which means this is what we would call a calorie-dense, nutrient-poor beverage. Let's compare the fruit punch to a 100% apple juice. The apple juice has 28 grams of sugar, which is the equivalent of 7 teaspoons of sugar. While the apple juice is high in sugar, it's all natural sugars, no added sugars, and the apple juice has vitamins and minerals and other nutrients that the fruit punch does not. But since it's so high in sugar, we should remember that apple juice is just a sometimes drink. Next, we're going to look at a popular energy drink. When we check our nutrition info label, we see that the suggested serving size is the entire can, which is 20 ounces. When we break that down to an 8-ounce serving, that comes out to about 25 grams or just over 6 teaspoons of sugar. This is what that 6 teaspoons of sugar looks like in the 8 ounces. Now, when we go back to that label, we see that there are 63 grams of sugar in the entire 20 ounces, or about 15.75 teaspoons. This is what 15.75 teaspoons looks like in our 16-ounce glass. We also need to be aware that while this energy drink is high in sugar, it also contains caffeine. Next, we are going to look at a drink that often gets mistaken as being a quite healthy drink, even though it's pretty high in sugar, and that is a low-fat flavored milk. When we look at the label, we see that there are 18 grams of sugar in the flavored milk, 4.5 teaspoons. We can also see that about 2 of those teaspoons are made up of added sugars, which means that they are not sugars that naturally occur in the milk. If we compare that to regular low-fat milk, we can see that the regular low-fat milk only has 6 grams of sugar, and it's all natural sugars, and that equals out to just 1.5 teaspoons of sugar in our regular low-fat milk. The last beverage we are going to take a look at is water. Water has no sugar, no added sugar, and in most cases is more than enough to keep us hydrated even during vigorous physical activity. That's why we should always choose water first for our thirst.
Remember, when picking a beverage, to check both the total sugar and added sugar in your beverage. And remember to always choose water first for thirst. Thanks for watching, and to learn more about OSU's EFNEP program, go to go.osu.edu/EFNEP.